Hey guys, welcome to another episode with your favorite girls, Petty Party Podcast. It is your girl, Jori.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Michelle, aka Egypt if you nasty. What's poppin'?
Hey everyone, it's just Nick checking in.
Hey guys, it's your girl Paulette coming out the set. What's good?
It's that song I was like, that what's poppin'?
I was literally about to do my intro and I just look over to the left, Michelle's dancing.
It's lost my mind and my cell phone on the same night.
What song is that?
Yeah.
What? That what's it called? Oh, the hoes rocking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
That was definitely a college throwback.
I am not you jerk hating on me and make a situation worse. You don't want to take a ride in that long black hearse.
How have
Y'all
y'all
don't
been?
know that? Wow.
Of course we know that song. How have y'all been?
Been good.
Okay.
Good.
Life's great.
Okay.
Life's great.
Yeah. I mean, I've been struggling with back issues like for the last few days, so I'm, coming around finally. But yeah, it hasn't been a good week. I'm not even gonna lie.
Dang.
It's been painful.
Once you hit, I'm not gonna lie.
Back
Things-
issues, no
Anything,
joke.
things have been
joy-being
30.
related-
Things have been going downhill for me at 30. When I couldn't
I'm
walk for
telling
2
you.
days because of my foot, I had to buy actual real running / walking shoes
Yeah.
because my foot was fucked up.
Honestly, I have to invest in good walking shoes
But
now
you-
because I realize that kind of caused what's going on.
Yeah, but you know what's
Yeah.
crazy that you say that because I saw a video the other day about the 12-3-30 and they said that it's actually
not for the
causing
weak.
it's causing like sciatica and not wrist, ankle, and feet problems in people because you're not supposed to walk on an incline for that long. So they said that if you do
Dang,
12
30 minutes.
yeah, so now it's like
Yeah.
they're saying
Man,
like
I
if you
do
do
that 5 days a week.
they said if you do an incline, you're supposed to like rotate it just because the way
Oh.
the
High and
incline
low.
is on your feet. Yeah,
Yeah.
and do all that stuff. But now I'm just like,
But I'm not ever
no
gonna
good
go
at anything.
But the
yeah,
thing
I'm
is-
like, damn,
you
you
can't do nothing.
But there's
do
some people that
anything.
go past 12 incline. I will never do that. I'm
People
not.
are doing
I'm barely
15.
making 3
I do 15.
speed. Like
No, and somebody in the comments was like, no, for real, I got sciatica because of 12-3-30. I'm like, now you trying to make your
Right.
life
Yeah,
better.
like
not
something
funny.
happened. Like I feel like I have workout shoes, but it's like I don't think like they're walking shoes.
Oh yeah.
No,
So-
I had to make the switch.
Yeah, and like I'm not gonna guys, please make sure you're wearing appropriate workout gear. Cause listen,
What's it?
that
Hoka?
pain hurts.
Did y'all buy Drake tickets?
No, I didn't. It released
didn't
today, and I have
tomorrow.
a cash up card too. So you
Um,
have
the
a-
ticket prices
I
are
have a
high.
Cash App
Why,
card.
why didn't you say anything?
I don't know. I think everyone has cash
No,
up
Paul
card.
said the same thing. No, I don't
Oh,
have
I
one.
didn't even have
I
a
just-
choice.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
When I
I
signed up
mean-
for Cash App, they sent me one.
Oh, really? Oh, I had to I had to like request one, but them ticket prices are high, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Drake needs to bring them prices down. It's not
I'll be
Nah.
there,
They're
babe.
high.
Floor seats. I don't care what
All
the
right.
cost.
You're gonna do floor, really?
I
Yeah.
feel you.
I said on this podcast a couple episodes back, I'm spending whatever it takes for my man. So
But-
I'll be on the floor.
How much are floor seats
Like
1,000.
1,000.
for
1,000.
Drake?
Like
Thank
800.
you.
And he's not bringing. Is he bringing
Sir.
anybody with him? Oh,
Probably
21
not.
Savage.
Yeah.
What? That's the
No,
concert?
No.
Mm.
At least Beyonce, she dances.
Yeah, Beyonce puts on a performance.
This is
That's
what
what
I said. I
Drake
was
better
like-
have dancers.
I was like, not Drake trying to charge Beyonce prices.
Yeah, I'm
and
sorry.
like
y'all, wait,
no,
we're not
Beyonce
doing
puts
that.
on like a
We're not
whole
doing that.
show, y'all. She's
Oh.
not up there just rapping.
Yeah.
Look, sorry, y'all. We just saw Future.
Oh yeah,
And
oh,
we went to a
there.
Drake
We'll
concert,
get there.
and
yeah,
he could never charge 1,000
he
for
could
that.
never. No, he can't.
Mm-mm.
Listen,
Sorry.
because one thing about me, like I love Future, and I just went to his concert on Sunday, and like I kept telling them, I was like, why doesn't Future have dancers on stage? Like, what did we really pay for?
Does
Like,
Future don't need
I know, but you get what I'm saying. Like sometimes you need someone in the like doing something. Like I can't watch you just rapping, and sometimes you're waiting for us to sing your lyrics. Like I need action.
I enjoyed the show.
I just, I think I've never had a concert experience like Birthday Bash in Atlanta.
oh
man.
my god,
We was front fucking row to
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj, Wayne,
Y'all.
on her porch. So, front row.
Migos.
for the
Amigos.
FREE.
And you know what? It's so crazy. It's so crazy because I remember we went to Birthday Bash. This was like mid Remy and Nicki Minaj. Like, this is when what was it called? She threw her dropped and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And it was so pretty next day seeing the Shady Room and seeing all these stories. And I was like, none of this
No.
is so true. They were like, Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma walked by each
But-
other as they were performing. I was like, no, they didn't. She was like 5 acts
No, they
later.
didn't. No, because it's so crazy because when I saw Remy Ma come out and she like perform, I was like, dang, it'd be crazy if they had Nicki Minaj come here. Y'all, literally like few acts later, Nicki Minaj shows up in this pink fur coat. I'm like,
'Cause Lil
wait
Wayne
a
brought her out,
minute.
yeah.
What's going on? What's
A
going on? And then
moment.
she performed her like diss that she had on Gucci Mane song. I forgot the name of the song, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And she actually performed it twice. Like, she like run that shit. I'm like, dang, Mickey wants all the smoke. That's why I love her. Love her. Sorry. But yeah, y'all should buy Drake tickets. Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll report back how much I spent. Not all of them are $1,000. The ones that were on the website already today, those are certified pre-sale that Ticketmaster already prices at what they think resale value is going to be. So not all of them are going to be that high. Because Ticketmaster's greedy.
And that's another thing. Like, y'all are taking away like the experience of going to a concert. Like, what the hell? Why is Ticketmaster now becoming a scalper? Like,
I actually saw something on that. The reason why Ticketmaster promotes scalping is because if you think about it, someone comes, they buy their original tickets, Ticketmaster charges them probably $80 or whatever. Let's call it 10%. Ticket service charges and fees. When they resell that ticket, Ticketmaster charges an additional service and fee charge on there. So they're getting money off the same ticket every time it gets resold. You know, so they have no reason to cut down on it.
It's no different than what the government's doing to us. Because here's my real question. How are we taxed on money that's already taxed?
Explain.
How are we taxed on money that's already taxed?
Explain.
So whenever y'all get paid.
So it's like, you say our salary, we're already taxed, and then we have to turn around and pay taxes.
No, not even just that. Like, on regular goods. Like, so think about it. Like, our money is already taxed whenever you get paid. And then when you go to the grocery store, you're also charged another tax. So how y'all taxing us on top of already taxed money?
Groceries food's not supposed to be
But not
taxed.
every state is like that,
not every state.
Georgia doesn't have.
Even New Jersey, they don't have
food. I've never been taxed.
It's not just food, but everything, like everything else.
Yeah.
I think New Jersey doesn't have tax on goods. Is that it?
They don't, because people be buying their designer over there and shipping it.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
And New York has a high ass tax. Oh my gosh, almost 10%. I don't see how y'all live in that city. Yes. Yeah. But at least Texas doesn't have income tax. But anyways, it's enough of financial analysis.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and move into our motto.
Mind or the other.
You know what's crazy?
Not or. You were almost there.
A guy who was trying to date me said to me, I want us to be more than friends, but I think you're out of my league. And I was like, no, I'm not. What makes you say that? And he was like, well, the only reason I think that is because you have a car and I don't.
Oh my God.
If I had a car, then you wouldn't be out of my league. I was expecting him to say something cute like, I think you're out of my league because you're so beautiful, or something romantic. And this fool talking about a damn car, shaking my head. Should I keep talking to him?
No.
Listen.
He said he thought she was attractive because what?
Sounds like a broke boy.
It doesn't even sound like a broke boy.
Some people don't have cars because they don't need cars.
No. It's not about him not having a car that's making him a broke boy. It's his mentality.
That's not true.
No, his mentality literally is the only reason why you're out of my league is because I don't have a car.
But
it sounds jealous.
Is he jealous or is he real?
It sounds jealous. Like, it sounds very jealous because it sounds like as soon as he gets a car, he's gonna be like, "Yeah, bitch, I kind of feel him. Why? No,
I kind of feel him as a man. You have a car before me. Like, you're out of my league.
What was it that he said? I'm sorry.
He basically he said that he wants it to be more than friends, but he feels like the reason why they can't be together because she's out of his league. And no, she's out of his league.
And she asked why, and he said because he doesn't have a car.
Because he doesn't have a car and she does. And to me, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that's someone that's insecure. I think that's someone that understands, like, I don't have a car and you do. Like, we're probably gonna run into issues.
So y'all can't tell me y'all have never been around a person, not even just dated a person, but been around people, like, as soon as they get something, like their whole, like, they change, they act like they're too good, like they get money. Next thing you know, like, you can't even halfway like sit with them.
No,
maybe when we were younger,
of course when we were younger, but
we're adults.
At my big age, no.
I definitely see it even at my big age.
No, I definitely see that. However, I'm not sure that's what the situation is. I think because I do know people who, like, when they're not in their best season, right? They don't feel comfortable dating. And I feel like as a man, he's saying, like, you have a car and I don't. And he understands how the power dynamics is going to work in that relationship. Like, how does he look like asking to use your car or do this, or asking to pick him up? He doesn't want that. So right now he's like, you're out of my league. You know, he feels that way. She don't feel that way. But I feel like if a man voices that, then
that's real. Like,
it's going to bring a type of, like, dynamic to the relationship that she may not be comfortable with, because having to spend the entirety of the relationship trying to remind him that he's enough and all this other stuff is going to be taxing and exhausting. I feel like just avoid that altogether. Believe him when he says that, regardless if if that's how you feel, believe him, move on, find a nigga with a car, and let him find a girl with a best pass.
And I think like I just think he's just being real about the situation about how things are gonna go. Like he doesn't have a car, so he can't really take you on dates.
Yeah.
I do agree with you, Michelle. I think I've been in a similar situation before where somebody was going through something and they kept saying like, I just feel like, you know, you're too good for me. And I was like, I already said like I'm cool with the situation, but what I'm not going to do is continue to give you like confirmation that it's okay. And because of that, I actually think we need to kind of go our separate ways, because I think I had to like tell him like maybe 2 additional times after the first time. I was like, you know what? I'm actually not going to do this again. So I got to bounce.
Yeah. I remember like, so I would like for a split second I was talking to someone and like they never really like voiced that, but like they just weren't in the best situation. Mind you, they were still able to do what they need to do, all that stuff, but it's just the situation they're in, it just wasn't the best. And like it got to the point where like certain things they would say, it's kind of like projecting in a sense, like, you know, trying to make me kind of feel bad that like where I'm at right now is like, you know, like I kind of make me try to feel like I'm better than them, which I don't ever feel like I'm better than anyone. But it got to the point where y'all, at some point, I realized that I'm way out of his league, and we cannot talk anymore. And y'all literally chunked up the dudes and stopped talking to him.
So this leading us into power dynamics and women making more than men.
Yikes. But yeah, no, girl, like I'm not gonna lie. Like, look, if you feel comfortable, which I hope you don't, if you feel comfortable dealing with a guy with no car, be my guest, date him. If you don't, it's okay for you to comfortably like just be friends with him still and talk to other people. Y'all are good friends, and he said he wants to take it to another level, but he's telling you what y'all challenges will be. You don't have to accept the challenge. Y'all can still be friends and be cool.
I think it just depends on their age too. Like
sound young.
So would y'all talk to somebody who didn't have a car?
No.
Given any type of circumstances that could explain away why they don't have a car in this moment.
For example, something they got in a car accident and they're shopping around for a new car. Cool, but I'm not gonna lie. Nah. Not right now. No. Like, no. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not shallow.
Because I know somebody
that,
who, in it, he was gonna get a car.
Yeah,
the car was just on back order. You know,
that's different.
And he went like 8 months without a car.
A car's coming. Yeah. Some people you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And like one thing for sure, like I've seen people where like they started a relationship and like of course the man may not have a car and the man's always using their car, this and that, and they get comfortable. And before you know
I could never share a car with a man.
You be shocked.
I could never.
Hey, never say never, girl. But like
maybe a husband, but
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like things may happen where, you know. But I've seen where like a man will get comfortable and like it stays there. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's wise. I personally wouldn't do that.
The only reason why I would say I might possibly consider it is because the way the world is now, there's ways to get around. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people literally do depend on Uber. And not even just that. I think we live in a city where like a car kind of seems like a necessity, but in like other cities
places,
like New York and things like that, sometimes you really don't need a car. You know what I'm saying?
You don't need a car.
And so maybe in that situation, I could understand like dating someone who doesn't have one. But as long as like him not having a car doesn't become like my burden.
Yeah.
That's where and one thing I'm never going to do is give my car to a man and he's picking me up from work. Like, it's just not happening. Like, absolutely not. Like, I go to work, you got my car, driving it around for the whole day, and then you come and pick me up. And then not even just that, you come and pick me up late. We got issues then. So,
Okay.
Not me having flashbacks to a situation from undergrad, child.
Oh my
Look,
God.
I'm telling you.
The ghetto.
The ghetto. Yeah, I don't know. I can, like,
and that's my fear, being in an event. Ooh, that's my fear. Girl.
I would say never say never. I don't like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't know, because like you said, like who's to say that circumstance will have somebody carless? Like, I wouldn't say. I don't think like he doesn't have a ar would be a red flag. Unless I just meet you. Like if I was talking to you in a situation, happy to have a car, it's cool. If I met you without a car, the likelihood of me taking you serious would be very, very, very.
And I have
very
to agree because I did like y'all like when I first moved back to Dallas. I remember I met a man and like he was like 31, 32, and he told me he didn't drive. Like he's like, I don't have a car, I don't drive, and I was like,
he was kind of old compared to you at that age. Why he had no car?
But like, come to find out, he's like, I just have anxiety with cars, like roads.
Yeah, I didn't
like,
and
it's so crazy. Like I kept talking to him because I'm not gonna lie, when he explained that, I was just kind of like. But still, we didn't go nowhere because I'm not gonna, y'all. It just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sounded like an excuse.
No, that's not. No, because I've actually met someone else that they have anxiety driving on highways. A lot of people, look, y'all be shocked.
I know somebody.
So let me ask y'all this.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather date a man without a car or without a place to stay?
without a car.
What do you mean?
Homeless?
Not homeless.
Or carless. I think I know which one I'm
No,
thinking.
not homeless.
You can move around.
His own place. Let's say he stayed with his mom still.
I mean, are you in Nigeria or are you in America?
Yeah, because if you're Nigerian, it's okay. You get a pass.
If you're in America, of course.
I feel like same both ways, for the car or for living at home with your parents. As long as there is a purpose and I see your plan for what you're trying to do as to why you live at home or to why you don't have a car, if it makes financial sense to me, I'm A-okay. If it doesn't, it's a red flag.
So my thing is, okay.
Because I actually dated somebody who actually
lived at home
with his mom.
But how old?
He's older than me. But it was in a situation where I couldn't really tell. I don't know, like, are you living with your mom or is your mom living with you? I think after a certain age, it's kind of hard
you never
to tell.
know. You never
And sometimes
know.
some people, like, especially it depends, like, if a parent now has become, like, by themselves, they're like, now, you know what, like, especially some men, they'll go back home and, like, you know, take over and, like, you know what I'm saying, which I respect. You know, that takes a lot to do. But me personally, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to judge you if you live with your parent because you have shelter. Because, like, you know, I know how hard it is, like, to live on your own. So if you have a place to stay, I'm not about to sit here and be like, you're less than, because you're not. You have a roof over your head. But, you know, I don't know. Like, I really don't. I don't think that's nothing wrong with living with your parents still.
In today's economy, shout out to those who don't have bills. Shout out to you. Like, I can't even be mad at that. Like,
but I agree completely with y'all. But that does one thing I'm never going to be like, oh, you still have a place over your head is like if you're still staying with like your ex or like a baby mama.
That's
a no.
Do I look like a fool?
Thank you.
I mean, people can say like they're trying to do it for
I don't give a fuck.
No,
the
man,
kids
no.
and for billing purposes.
I was actually.
I don't want to ever sound like I'm anti having a great environment for a child, but that's a hell no.
I am. Do it for your family then all the way.
Yeah, get back with them. Like,
I had met somebody and we were talking and I was really liking him. And then I found out him and his ex still live together.
For
really?
what?
Yeah.
So why are you dating?
And how is he dating?
I was trying to figure out where I missed the red flags. Because how the fuck I didn't realize he was living with a female.
Girl, be
But yeah, I stopped talking
staging
to him
other people's
that.
places. Y'all.
And it's so crazy because like when you find out stuff like that, like the explanation always sounds so good. Where I was like, oh, okay, like it kind of made sense. I'm not gonna lie.
I know myself. I just be like,
I feel like I've been in that position before, but he definitely was giving me red flags. I'm like, why are you trying to do all this in the car? Like, why?
Oh, that reminds me of a story, but honestly,
why are you like?
Why you get off the phone at 9:00?
No,
like I'm confused. Like you're
like,
a grown man.
Literally, like, why are you damn near trying to have sex with me in the car? Like,
why
is there not a bed available? Like, you know.
No, oh my god, I had a situation like that, but I would have to say that on Patreon because it was in a situation where I was like, it wasn't adding up, and 2 + 2 did end up equaling 5. So, in that situation,
can I talk to y'all about one of my ex?
Okay.
All right. Are we not allowed to like complain anymore? Or like not even complain, but like, are we not allowed to like tell a business why we may not be happy with them? Because I recently had an experience, y'all, where I had to bring something to someone's attention where I was like, I wasn't happy with the service that I received. And immediately it turned into, well, I was doing you a favor. I gave you a discount. I didn't even charge you this fee that I normally would charge all my other clients. And so I'm like thinking to myself, like, did you feel like you didn't want to charge me that fee because I'm black? And then you then turn around and said, you can treat me anyhow because you didn't charge me this fee. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like after a certain point, like if I am, it's not even support at this point. I'm paying for a service. So I feel like I should get the exact thing that I want if I'm paying for it. Now, whenever I now bring my attention to you and say like, hey, this is not the caliber that I wanted of my product. Now it's, okay, I gave you a discount. Well, did I ask for a discount?
Yeah, undiscount me.
That's what, and at this point, I'm like, what do we do? Like, and it's not even, it's like small businesses, it's large businesses. It's so many businesses out here that like just aren't living up to par. And we're paying all this money for products that we're not, it's like, it's not worth it.
I mean, what I would say for that is, I don't know if this small business has like a Google page, but y'all make sure y'all leave y'all reviews. Make sure I don't care if it's a service provider. I don't care if it's a service provider in under a major corporation. Get those names, get the first and the last. Leave those reviews. That's the only way you're gonna make changes. Leave those reviews.
Yeah, because I'm big on reviews. Like, I know some they think I'm so mean, like that. I leave honest review because if one thing about me, if I go to someone's establishment, I had a great time. I'm gonna make sure everyone knows I had a great time. Pub your business. But if like I have to report when I have a bad time, like because especially when you choose not to make the situation right, like you went out your way to make you went out your way to make sure that you kept your money and I left unhappy. That don't sound right. So.
That's why I don't like people doing me favors. Because now you feel like you can cut corners.
That's what I'm saying.
And even kind of on the subject, like when it comes to service providers, like I always tip. And I tip because I want to make sure you do a good job every single time. And as a tipper every single time, and your work starts to decline, I'm not coming here no more. Because I'm already paying for a service and I'm tipping you well every single time to show my loyalty to you. And I'm the type, y'all know, when I find somebody I like, I'm not going nowhere. I don't like jumping from person to person. So if I'm loyal to you and I've been coming to you for over a year, 2 years, and I'm tipping you every time and your quality of work starts to decline, I'm out of here actually. Because now you're just taking advantage of the fact that like I come here all the time and we're buddy. And that's not the case. Like I want my services done the correct way every single time.
So then let me ask y'all this. So how do y'all feel whenever it comes to like, let's say that your friend is some type of provider, they provide whatever type of service, and they give you a discount due to the fact that you're their friend. And let's say that your nails don't look right. Do you feel like you can really say anything to them?
Absolutely.
Because they do give you a discount?
Yes, I can. If I don't like, guys, we got to kind of like, look, it's a service and it's on your body. Like if you don't like something, there's a way to politely tell someone you don't like something. Be like, hey girl, I'm not really feeling this shape. Like, is there any way you can kind of buff it out? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a respectful way to be, I don't feel like if someone gives you a discounted price now, it takes away your voice. Absolutely not.
I think you can speak up for yourself. I think the issue is like the person who's doing the service for you, how they're going to take it. I think it's up to them. Like, do they take it with good criticism or do they take personal attack? And now they're mad that they're giving you a discount. And it's like, I just don't like this one thing. Can we fix it, please?
I just feel like a lot of people need to work on receiving constructive criticism. Like a lot of people, like you just can't tell them nothing because they think you're putting them down. But it's like at the end of the day, this will help your business be better. You know what I mean? So,
but delivery is also key because sometimes people deliver. I don't fucking like it's like whoa. There's a way to communicate that you're not happy with the service.
Maybe that was my issue because I called the girl unprofessional. But I feel like that was a really nice way of putting things.
I mean, that's the word.
What else did you say
for it?
Nothing rude. I didn't call her her name.
No, I think unprofessional is.
Very unprofessional. That's the word.
Clear communication. I will say, me personally, as far as when it comes to speaking up, I really don't like doing too much talking. Like I'm not a big talker.
Me too.
When it comes to like receiving services. I'm real big on if the energy ain't right,
I just don't go back.
You will never see me again. Like I'm the type of person where like I'm not even afraid to speak up, but if I get there and your energy is already just like dark as fuck, like I'm already thinking like, okay, it's cool. I'm not even gonna speak up because I don't have time for the rah-rah. I don't have time for that. As soon as I get home, I'm gonna fix it, amend it, and find somebody else who's gonna fix it. You just won't never see me again, and you're gonna hit me up and wonder, oh girl, what happened? And I feel like most service providers, they know when they fuck up, and they know why you didn't come back. So I really don't think it's like. Sometimes it's not a need to speak up. If I speak up more than anything, is to let you know that the service that you think is A1 was A2 that day. So maybe you could fix it for somebody else moving forward. That's really it, especially if it's a friend. I feel like if your friend is doing something and they're working on their skill, it's you are the person who's probably going to be the most honest. So you can just be like, hey girl, I'm not going to lie. My finger don't go to the left like that, so why is my nail doing that? Like, do you want to straighten it out?
That is the worst. Like,
and then
you leave and you be looking like, damn, my nails moving to the side.
And then they try to angle your hand. No.
It's
look
like,
at it straight.
And the thing is, they be knowing because when they get to the end, they're doing that last little. They be real quick looking past. Like, you know, my nail is crooked. Yeah. Don't play.
It's like I asked for a coffin and I'm looking like a straight. Like you want to angle the sides? Like what's happening, fam? Like, but yeah, speak up, man. That's how your friends get better.
You're allowed to complain, though, Nikki.
That's how people, not even friends, that's how people get better. Like, you have to be able to receive constructive criticism or you'll never know what you need to improve on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or I wouldn't be afraid. Like, sometimes, like, you're nervous to say it. Like, I remember I had a service where I was so nervous to say it during the service because I was like, I don't want this person to feel bad. It was like a week later, I hit them up. I was like, hey, I just want to bring this to your attention. I want to give you the opportunity to fix it moving forward because I wasn't going to go back, but I was like, let me just like tell you this. And she was like, okay, well, this is something we can try. I do apologize, but let's see if we could fix this the next time you came. And she was able to fix it moving forward. And I was glad I brought it up. And I'm sure in her head, she was like, thank you for telling me and all the other stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm glad I gave her the opportunity to at least correct her mistake instead of just running
That's
her
crazy
off.
you went back. Because I'm way too scared to go back sometimes. Because then I'd be like, what if they're gonna really like mess me up on purpose?
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever had a bad, like super bad experience where I felt like I couldn't go back. I think when I think of places I haven't went back to, nails and toes, like
because like no,
that's one thing you're not gonna get to
and
mess around
eyebrows.
with again. Oh yeah.
One thing about me with like nails is because I'm very particular with my nails, right? So if I go to a nail salon and I'm telling you what I want, I know exactly what I want. When they now take it, they go above me on like adding all this additional stuff, and I realize that I was finessed. That bothers me. It does, because it's like, to me, it's like, why were you doing all this stuff just to like finesse me at the end? You know what I'm saying?
I actually just was thinking about making a complaint about a nail salon.
Yeah.
Because
oh, girl, I did.
Because
I did.
The girl who does my nails, she doesn't do soak offs. That's a story for a different day. So
nobody does soak offs.
So I have to go to like a different nail salon to get it done. So I went into this place before and I was like, I need to get my nails soaked off there. He was like, anything else? I was like, no. He kind of added to, he's like, okay, 20. I'm like, 20's OD, but I need these nails off because my appointment is tomorrow. So I paid it.
24 soak off?
Yeah, 24 soak off.
That's the standard.
So then I come in another day and I'm like, hey, I need to get my nails soaked off. Oh, we don't have anybody available. I was like, okay, what about tomorrow? Not tomorrow either. I was like, okay, what about Wednesday? He was like, I was like, just say you don't want to soak my nails off because I'm not getting any other service, but I'm still paying you 20. And to me, you're already getting over me for paying 20, but you're mad that I'm not getting my nails done here or my toes done here. So now you're going to just refuse to accept me any type of appointment. I walked out. I was like, you know what, like, fuck you at this point, because just say you don't want to soak my nails off because I'm not getting any other service.
That's crazy.
That is very crazy.
Yep.
Wait, which one? What's the name of nail bar?
No, it's across from the post office. Right there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But now I have another place on Oak Lawn that I go to now to get them soaked off, and they're nice every single time, and it's less than 20.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I remember like the first time I went to this nail salon, like the guy did a great job, but it's like.
It's always the first time.
But it's like, I'm like, but fam, how did we get here? Then I come back the next time, and it's for a fill. Why am I paying double the price I paid before? Tell me what's going on. Y'all are finessing me because both times, the first time I didn't speak up, but the second time, y'all actually like got the manager and we sat and like refunded me my money.
Oh, damn.
Because like I was like, I even told I was like, I'm going to Google. Because one thing about me, y'all won't finesse me with nails.
I'm going to Google.
Yeah. No,
all right, so that's it. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the current events. A lot's been going on. I mean, you said what?
I said, I'm yawning. Yikes.
Am I boring you?
The time change. The time change.
I didn't even feel that time change, girl.
I stay up so late.
I definitely feel that
Really?
hour being gone. I mean, I was asleep when it changed, but still, I feel that hour being gone from me. Like, for real.
I kind of like it because, like, I naturally wake up, like, super early and it annoys me. But now that I wake up, it's not that early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, okay, now I'm waking up, like, 6:30.
Yeah.
Because waking up at 5 was blowing me. I didn't know how to stop doing it. But, okay, we're going to go into the current events. And this has been, like, a rough couple of weeks for relationships. I feel like everybody's getting back together, breaking up, like... Tristan and Chloe are back in action.
Never left.
Who said they were back together?
I mean,
is that confirmed?
They were just at the twins' birthday party, like celebrating together.
Her best friends.
What twins?
The twins. Her best.
Lisa and
Kim Kardashian wished him happy birthday.
Yeah, and I feel like if your sister wishes that's your man.
This is the same family that had Scott around for a long time after the fact. They just like keeping their baby daddies
I don't
around.
really see them wishing Scott anything.
Because old girl has moved on now.
They had a second baby though, right?
After he had a baby on her with another girl.
Yeah, but they had a second baby, so I feel like you never know. Like once you have a new baby,
all that tweeting, subtweeting she was doing on her Instagram story.
Yeah,
that's why you have to. I'm sorry, if you're gonna publicly complain and cry on your story about how a nigga ain't shit, and you take him back, like same thing with Jada and Lil Baby. Like just be quiet.
Don't get me wrong, like because I feel like the world goes hard on Chloe, but I personally, I'm not gonna lie, like. I never understood why Chloe decided to have another baby with Tristan after all that stuff happened. I really think that was not the wisest thing to do. However, if she decided to move on with this loser, hey, more power to her. You know what I mean? Because in the day, y'all, everybody wants to like be like, I think she wants to. I feel like at this point, she's fighting for her family, having like a mom and dad and stuff like that. So if that works for them, let them be. But
it's just crazy though. I definitely feel like. These celebrity couples, it's the women making the men like relevant. Like even whenever it comes to Krishan and Blueface, like
Yeah, no, fine.
So what's been going? Okay, can y'all? Who's really been following the tea
on what? On who?
Can we not? Blue Sean.
Can we just not?
There's no tea. Just know that this Blueface went to Dubai and decided that. Even Krishan don't even know what because Krishan was like, what are we even fighting over? He went to Dubai and decided that he's just gonna start posting about her. Apparently, maybe he's jealous of her. Like, I don't know what
people have been sliding into her DMs.
Apparently, but I'm like, how the hell do you? I don't understand like what the issue is. Like, whatever. But he posted his baby mama on his page. Like, I guess the way that her what's it called? Not a pregnancy announcement, but her pregnancy revealed to him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, this is how somebody announces their pregnancy to somebody. And of course, he was like happy and all the other stuff. And he posted that. Mind you, Krishan is pregnant. He recently just posted like his house or whatever, and it's like apparently it's a mess. It's not clean, and he's saying like she don't even take care of me. How's she gonna take care of a baby? She posted, I guess, a live on the live. She was talking about she feels like she might as well just go ahead and abort the baby because he don't love her. And he was like, do it please, do it please.
I'll give you $100,000 to abort the baby. It's weird, you know.
Okay.
I want.
I'm just saying, like, she clearly wants that baby, but damn, if you want me to get rid of it, $100K is nothing for her. I'm sorry to not.
It's not, because Krishan makes Blueface. She is the one who's making the money, you know? But
and that golden baby will too.
I really do wonder, like,
no fact.
What's Krishan's motive? Like,
to do what?
Does she really want the baby? Because the thing is, like, the relationship that she, like, not even just relationship, but the turmoil she's about to go through for the next 20 years
forever
with this man, is it worth it?
But I think she came out and said, even though he said that she's lying about this, but she came out and said that she's had 3 abortions already and she's tired of having
She even
abortions.
said the next time she gets pregnant, she's keeping it. She said that on someone's podcast.
So, I mean,
but people say stuff like that and they're still out here like having unprotected sex,
like,
not being on birth control. So it's kind of just like, exactly. Like, what did she actually put into place? Like, it's easier said than done.
I mean,
like,
shit
but the baby here now.
I mean, shit happens, but at the same time,
like,
I don't think she really put in any effort to ensure 100%
But we don't know. I don't know if Krishan and Blueface are trolling us again. They love to do this.
But this is the thing that made me the most mad was whenever Blueface had the nerve to say, you have 10 tattoos with my name on you. You missing a tooth. And he said a couple other things. He was like, what man is going to want you? And that downright pissed me off, y'all. Because the thing is, it's like, he made sure, like, he was the one who was complaining about your teeth. Then you felt like you need to take it out. He was he's
the reason why you don't have a tooth.
Exactly. He's the one who's encouraging you to get all these tattoos. Like, at first he wasn't saying nothing.
He was there with
but
you.
Now, as soon as he feels like you're too independent for him, now he's like, but nobody's gonna want you. And that right there is like, that's worse than a narcissist. Like, that right there is a person who wants to literally control every part of you.
And that's one thing I don't like about Blueface, the way he talks to her, it's like downright dirty. Like, it's actually like, anyone that's like watched their show, y'all know what I'm talking about. The way he gets, like, when he gets upset in his feelings, he talks to her in a way where it's just like she's literally nothing.
It's definitely like a pimp and like prostitute like mentality. Like, that's how I feel like their mentality is. Like, he talks to her like a pimp.
But that's literally how narcissists operate. They'll try to convince you that you can't do better than them, and that's their whole act. And that's how they convince you to stay with them and accept less treatment than you deserve. So, I mean, as soon as the guys are sucking like that, that's when you need to dip, because he sees the potential in you. So you need to turn around and see the potential in yourself.
Literally.
Because Krishan could be so much bigger than him. She really does not even need him. If you're keeping Blueface should have been old news 2 years ago. Okay, the only reason we've been hearing about him is because of Krishan. Like, What's Up, Tatiana was how long ago?
Yeah, like
3
that's
years
over. Even when I hear it on their show, I'm like, what is going on? Where's the new music?
I just don't like how now he wants to complain. Like, oh, she doesn't take care of home.
He's not complaining, girl.
Nikki just said he complained about that.
Like,
but even if he's trolling, you've been with me for this long, and me not taking care of home has never become an issue, but now it's an issue. I don't like people who do stuff like that. I hate when you get in a position where you're pissed off at me, or now you want to throw some shit in my face that you never complained about. Yeah. That's very manipulative.
But at the same time, I don't care if we fall out. At no point in time should you ever feel like you can air out my dirty laundry or talk down on me to the public. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, if you ever talk shit about me to anybody and they come back to me, you're dead to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Period.
You are a permanent op.
Period.
So are y'all team Dirk and India getting back together, or would y'all rather them just like stay separate?
I think they're together on the low. I'm sorry.
They're not separated.
Like I think this is a show.
Not leaving him.
This is a show. I don't think they're really broken up. I think they want the world to think that. So,
like, I really wish I could be like, honestly, India's gonna leave him and be strong, but I know she's not. So, and it's okay. Like,
because that's
the father of her child.
Allegedly
Like,
broke up because he had a baby on her.
Yeah,
but
is the baby confirmed?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's the thing. Like,
because he fell off for like he deleted his Twitter and everything. Like he was gone off of social media for a very long time. But I knew
and so did she. She like stopped posting for a while.
I know when she posted like they've been not together for a minute. I know when she posted like Halloween pictures of her kids and stuff like that. Like he was in one of the pictures and like she edited him out or like put a ghost face over his face. Like yeah, and when he posted the picture, he was actually in it. When she posted it, they put like a bag over his head, make it look like he was a ghost because he was wearing like all white. And they're like, damn, India, like you been trying to make sure this nigga is not in no photos. But they're trying to say she's for the street now because she's on vacation and she's dancing and it's kind of
her
like
birthday.
It is, but they were saying she's never posted a video of her dancing before, and so now she's for the streets.
I thought she always like gets drunk because I remember that one thing where it was a video where she was like, it went viral on TikTok a long time ago. Yeah, where she was like, I'm drunk or whatever. I feel like she always really turns up for her birthday.
I've never seen her dance though. I've seen A Boogie's girlfriend dance, but I've never seen India dance.
Oh, I didn't
ever.
Know she was dancing.
Yeah. She was like,
is she not allowed to dance?
No, she is. But I guess they were saying like the fact that she was twerking on camera and posted to social media, they're like, yeah, she's gone now. Like you're never getting that girl back because she never behaved like that.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like you should not do what you want to do behind a man. Like live your life.
I mean, but at the same time, like there are like wifey vibes and there are girlfriend vibes. Like there's certain things that I'ma post and certain things I'm not gonna post if
I don't know
for one or the other.
Yeah.
But he likes that though, so why does it matter?
He likes that she twerks.
Yeah.
Does he?
I mean, as a man, like I'm talking about like if he goes out to the club, that's the type of shit that he likes. So to me, it's kind of just like I hate when people try to say this is that, this or that is not wifey vibes.
Isn't he the one that said he was gonna pay her not to do hostings? He pays her not to do hostings.
I'm gonna be honest with you, like
so he says.
So like I get that, cause I get what you're saying, but like a lot of men like they don't want to see theirs doing that. Out there, you know what I'm saying?
They don't like that type of stuff.
That's the thing. It's such reverse psychology. It's not the right logic, but Paulette is right. Like, that's the thing. Like,
standard.
Men do certain things with women that they would not do with their wife or future wife. And
that's talked about this before.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. I've said what I said on that topic. How do y'all feel about Angela Bassett at the Oscars?
What about her?
So basically. What was do you remember the award she was nominated for with Jamie Lee Curtis?
It was best performance in a like film or whatever.
And I don't know. I didn't see the other movie that Jamie Lee Curtis was in, so I really can't speak to that. At once. However, everyone thinks Angela was robbed.
Oh, so she should have won the award?
People think Angela should have won over Jamie Lee Curtis.
So Jamie Lee Curtis was nominated for Best Supporting Actress in a long-standing film, and so was Angela Bassett for her role as
Black
Panther.
Queen in Black Panther.
So, I mean, it was a good role. A lot of people, even though I felt like, I mean, whatever, but it was a good role. And Angela Bassett, I don't believe has won an Oscar yet, right? Because people believe that she should have got it for...
what's love got to do with it? She should have gotten an award.
She didn't get one. So they thought like this was her moment, all the other stuff. But Jamie Lee Curtis won. Now, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was a phenomenal movie.
It
won a lot of Oscars.
They've been getting a lot of awards,
But a lot of people felt like Jamie Lee Curtis's performance, if you compared it to Angela Bassett.
Angela blew her out the water.
And so when she did win, you could see on Angela Bassett's face, it was probably like a bit of disappointment. She did stand, but she didn't clap. So a lot of people are now saying they're so disappointed. Angela Bassett, like, you can lose, but you have to lose gracefully.
No,
like, it wasn't respectful to Jamie Lee Curtis.
Who's doing most of that?
Who also hasn't won an Oscar.
It doesn't. Honestly, let's be real here. Like, y'all, Angela, like, if we really want to talk about Angela Bassett's catalog and what she really puts her heart and blood and sweat in all her roles. And y'all mean to tell me that I'm not gonna, y'all, let's be clear here. Her role in Black Panther, she did that. I'm not even gonna lie, Angela really did that. And for y'all to give that award to Jamie Lee, don't get me wrong, Jamie Lee's a great actress, but I'm sorry, when you compare her and Angela, there's no comparison. See, it don't make sense.
I've actually seen and read and heard the opposite of what y'all are saying. Like,
I'm hearing good people, in Halloween and stuff like that, but but I'm
hearing people say that they believe
Jamie Lee.
Jamie should have won it.
And I'll be honest with you, this is.
So I think it comes down to like.
But I feel like honestly, what really has to
thing.
do too, because her parents were also in the industry as well. Like it's really not.
So let me say,
you know what I mean? She didn't really. That's just my opinion. Sorry.
Do I think that Angela's performance in Black Panther was just like outstanding? No, I really don't. Like, I just don't. Like, okay. I didn't really. Sure, yeah. The second movie. We're talking about the second one, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even too much care for that movie, but I definitely do think that people felt like she maybe needed it because due to like Chadwick Boseman, like and things like that, like and everything that has come like full circle. I feel like that might have played something in it, but at the end of the day, this all comes down to like talent, and not even just talent. I'm not saying that Jamie Lee is more talented than Angela, but I'm saying what they did with those two like roles compared to each other. If Jamie Lee deserved it, she deserved it.
But see, I think it was kind of a situation what you were saying. I think everything, we're gonna call it EEAAO, whatever. I think it was the better movie. Like I think that movie was like a really good movie. And
Jamie Lee's movie?
Yeah, and I think it was one of those situations where the better film won. And not the better actress. I'm not gonna lie, Angela Bassett's performance was really good. And I did hear that there was an actress, I think her name was like Stephanie Sutton, if I got her name wrong, whatever, who probably did. They said if she would have been awarded, if she had been nominated and she would have won, it would have made more sense. But Jamie Lee Curtis's her performance in that role compared to Angela Bassett's performance in her role, Angela Bassett probably had the better performance. But unfortunately, her performance was in Black Panther. You know, it's an action movie, all that other stuff, you know?
And I hate that for Angela. I'm not gonna lie, like, it's not fair. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it's really not fair. And it's like, I don't want to make it like a race thing, but it's like a lot of like people of like actresses and actors that are of color, there's a lot of the times are getting robbed in these award shows. Let's just be clear here. Like, it's actually really not fair. And it's kind of like disheartening because it's like, she's such a great actress. And it's like, dang, every time you come, it's like, they always picking over you. And it's like, no, she is the one. Like, what?
Don't get me wrong, she's good. She's
great.
I think she's really good. I really, really do. But
her
like
age
I don't
still
know
doing this.
You don't know. You
the
can't
whole
say.
thing. Yeah. Because for me, like I said, I fell asleep in the movie.
Well,
I don't even want to hear what I'm gonna have to say.
What you got to say, girl?
No one come for me. I haven't watched Black Panther.
It's okay, Jori.
Damn, not even one.
No,
what?
Not even one.
Right.
Okay. Oh, that's what you wanted to say?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I haven't seen any. But what I will say, as far as who deserved to win, like you said, Nikki, like I can't say I didn't watch other movies. I do plan to because I heard it was really, really good. But y'all, people don't have to clap for people. Let her process her lies.
Yeah.
Y'all up in her face. She stood up. She showed respect. And y'all in her face trying to figure out why she should be smiling and clapping for the next person.
She's
very
sad.
unrealistic. Very unrealistic. She's been robbed enough times where, come on, y'all, allow her to take the
She could be upset.
Like, damn. Allow her to take the LMPs. Like, it's not by force.
Y'all choosing to focus on her instead of the winner. Like, bruh.
Thank you.
So have y'all been keeping up with Black CHYNA? Why has she been so like popular all of a sudden? Like, first she does an interview with
Media
Jason
campaign.
Lee.
Rebranding. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's rebrand.
When you pop up in multiple outlets like that, you are purposely
also,
booking
I think she
these.
has something. Oh, she's working on a project that's going to be coming out soon. So, of course, press run.
She's removing all her, like, she's moving her butt
Enhancement.
size.
Yeah, she said
redoing her breast.
Yeah, she said she got her breast and her butt reduced.
So, and more power to her.
I mean, a lot of people are
Did
doing
y'all watch her Jason Lee interview?
I really enjoyed that interview.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I saw clips of it, though.
I enjoyed it.
How was it?
I feel like you saw a different, like, you saw Black CHYNA under a different light, like what you're normally used to. She was like she presented herself very well. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, she talks very well. I'm like, Black CHYNA has always spoke well. Like, that's never been a thing. But she really kind of like, went a little deeper on what happened like with her and Tyga and stuff like that. Like, I found out that Tyga actually kicked her out the house, like packed her things and sent her and King out the house. And like, she literally had to like, figure out what to do next, and she did say over a 16-year-old girl, you know what I mean? So, and even like the whole Rob thing, she said that she was not with him for revenge. She flat out said that she's like, and I'm being honest, like, that wasn't revenge, you know what I mean? But
of course she has to say that.
I mean, I don't know, like, she was,
Yeah.
I think now she's more cognizant of how like she presents herself in things to the world, because like she really was like telling, like, basically saying like, I'm just trying to like make sure like, I put myself in the best light and have like a good thing my kids can look up to, and like, I don't know. I feel like she's in a good space. Like you could tell she's really trying to like shift things. Like she's really stepping away.
She doesn't have a relationship with her mother, right?
She doesn't talk to her.
She over here saying she the Illuminati and
but
all that
she still
stuff.
says she loves her though. That's why I was just like, but she's like, I just love her from a distance.
Media.
I mean, because her mom would be going off on her, and then when her mom was going off on her TikTok showing something, she was going off on her about CHYNA, and then talking about, can you pay my rent?
Yeah,
it's $3,200.
I get $3,200 for rent.
Yeah,
like,
Tony's just
psycho.
One thing I will say about Blac Chyna, that I even agree with Jason Lee, because he even said this in an interview. He was like, one thing about it, you do not come and clear stuff up, and she does not. She mentioned, like, I think something happened, and he asked her about it. And she was like, oh, that's not true. I didn't do that. Like, I think it was about leaking a phone number. She was like, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, she was like, Rob did that. I didn't do that. And he was like, why would you not clear that up? Like, that annoys me. And it does, because I remember a long time ago, like, something came out where he was like, Blac Chyna sees her son every Sunday. Like, something came out where Rob hinted to that. And Tyga was like, oh, I see him get him on Sundays too. So everyone thought that Blac Chyna only got him on Sundays.
Only had like both her children like on like Saturday.
On one day. When in actuality, she has them. It's like 1 week, 1 week on, 1 week off. So she has them 7 days. So it's like Saturday to Sunday. You know what I mean? And it rotates like that. And she never came and cleared anything up. And I kind of feel in her head, she's kind of like, regardless, y'all are gonna hate me anyway. There's no point in me selling my side of the story. Y'all just gonna find something new to go off of. So she doesn't clear shit up. And sometimes I'm just like, I really wish you would, because people like, to this day, they make jokes and say she only has her child on Sunday. When we all know that's not true.
But she confirmed Tyga doesn't pay child support.
Really?
Yep. He does not pay child support.
Well,
Tyga's so stupid. Him running around with Avril Lavigne, it's very weird.
Have y'all not noticed this trend? Listen, like he found a sugar mama.
Huh? Tyga has money. Like,
I'm not saying he doesn't have money, but sometimes you like to spend others.
You think Avril Lavigne has more money than Tyga?
Avril Lavigne was she was that girl at one point.
Sorry.
I do.
Her last hit was 20
We can
years
confirm
ago.
it too.
Off what?
Like, I'm like, network.
Do you have access to her bank account? If you go to celebritynetwork.com, you can hang that up.
Wait, so we can't go net worth for net worth.
On Google?
Wow. Okay, I feel you.
But to go back to Blac Chyna, the reason why I definitely feel like she does not clear up her those rumors is because it adds like
Fuel to the fire.
And not even just that, like it makes people want to search her more. Like the more people are searching her name, the more people are looking her up, the more money that's coming to her. People are gonna start going to her OnlyFans. It came out. Well, okay. Well, came out a couple months ago that Blac Chyna was one of the highest earning person on OnlyFans, and that's not with no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like Blac Chyna has made sure that she has made herself stay relevant, and not even just relevant, but like on everyone's
relevant
mind
and paid.
You know, so she's a businesswoman. At the end of the day, she knows what she's doing, and like she says, she probably is really trying to make sure she builds something like a legacy for her children. And she's gonna make sure she does that regardless. So,
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the topic, which I feel like it's gonna be interesting. So I have a scenario for y'all to start us off. And I'm sure we're all guilty. I know I am. But have you ever had a situation where like you double back on somebody and you call him like, hey, like what's good, y'all chopping up, and like he keep talking about like how you disappear. You're like, bruh, like I'm not trying to hear about that. Like I'm here now. Like what's good? Have you ever done that before?
Called spinning the block.
Yeah.
And facing reality.
It's really giving Twin just vibe. Like, why are you asking all these questions? But in that though, like, do you think, because I know we all say like we want accountability from men, but do you feel like in that moment, like when you choose to ignore why you ghost somebody or why you double back on them and just be like, Twin, just vibe, or like don't worry about that, like you're lacking accountability? Like do you feel like it's because you don't want to speak up and be like, okay, this is why I wasn't here? Like you're technically just putting their feelings to the side to avoid what they're actually trying to say to you that they want to hear.
Definitely avoiding.
I mean, it is, I don't know if I'm lacking accountability or I just know that he might not understand like where I was coming from. And at that point, like sometimes I just feel like I don't even need to explain myself, you know, especially if I still want to fuck with that person. There's no point in even explaining it.
Only too, what I would speak to that though, when you said that they might not understand, but then again, you're not taking accountability for falling back from them. Like they're telling you, you're trying to move past the conversation, but they're like, no, like you went ghost to me. What happened? You're not trying to take accountability for going ghost. You just want to move past it because
you're saying like you want to fuck with them again, but it's like
but you have to take accountability first.
But you've already made the assumption they're not gonna respect what you say.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you take that opportunity away from them. It's like you lack accountability by not saying, okay, this is why I did it. Even if they choose to be mad or not, because
I mean, look, you gaslighting them.
How are you gaslighting them?
Because if
definitely,
imagine, okay,
yeah,
you're talking to somebody, y'all are vibing, all that other stuff, and then you don't hear from them from a couple months, and they come back and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" And you're like, "Hey, like, how are you? Like, where have you been?" I've just been chilling. Anyway, and it's like you want to pick up where we left off, but we're not gonna adjust the fact that I haven't talked to you in 3 months.
Yeah.
And every time I try to bring it up, you try to be like. You try to act like that didn't happen, like there was not any pause in like our communication. Like, that's a bit, manipulative. Like, it's nothing to just be like, hey. But the thing is, a lot of times the reason why you can't say is because you know what the real reason is.
You know what the reason was.
You know I was fucking on somebody else.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. And then that did not work out any longer, and now you're trying to double back.
Now I'm back. I'm spinning the block. Okay, just. Because I'm here for a good time and not a long time.
Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, y'all act like y'all have never done that.
No. The question was, do you lack accountability? And the answer is yes.
She's saying, is it a problem?
I mean, because I've definitely done it. And it's like y'all are saying, because I don't want to talk about why I wasn't here, but now I'm back. Let's move forward. But the thing is, I had to think, like, if I was in that situation in the reverse, I would want to know. Like, you can't just pop back over here like this shit's good.
And so then, if I was to tell you the truth, would you really accept it? And would you continue to talk to me?
Manipulation. Do you hear yourself?
No, my thing is, but you're giving them the option to accept it or not. You need to give them an option. Don't take it away.
I'll be the first to say, honesty goes a long way with me. And you'll be surprised when you are honest with me. That allows me to move forward with you. And people have been honest about shit. And I'm like, it doesn't really bother me. Let's move forward. Because now I know how you move. And that allows me to move with more clarity with you, knowing that you were honest about why you did this, and that.
Because honestly, I agree with you, Jori, with the honesty. Because honestly, I'd rather you be honest with me than like be lying. And like the lies are revealing themselves.
All you can do is respect.
Hell? Like,
I respect
when you're
honesty.
honest with someone, that means you respect them because you're being real and honest up front.
True.
You're not allowing me to like, form, my own little picture. You're giving it to me. You know what I'm saying? So.
But has that ever happened to y'all in the reverse? Like, y'all talk to somebody, they fell off, then all of a sudden they pop back up and you're like, where did you come from?
Yeah, all the time.
Respond.
No, let me stop. Not all the time. Wow.
No, all the time.
People don't be leaving me like that.
No, but like everyone's had that one person that just be in and out. Pick up where we left off. Sometimes you don't need to be.
That's the thing. I mean, honest with y'all, like,
it's
it's so crazy because I feel like this happened to me like not too long ago, and I already knew what it was. Like y'all said, like I already knew what it was, and I left it at that. Like if I decide to reply back, that's them taking accountability.
And I feel like too, honestly, if you care or not, if you really don't care, this is a nonsense like relationship, not like actual relationship, but then you're not who gives a fuck.
Play.
But if you care, conversation.
So in that, have y'all ever considered to yourself like, damn, like, is it me? Like, am I the drama? Like, because I'm not gonna lie, like, it really be me, because I be the one who be spinning the block and be like, oh, there's no issue, like, let's just move forward. And I'm like, dang, it be me who be doing that.
Yeah, lately I've been trying to do better, but it's tough. Like going to the streets, like just like sometimes it's overwhelming. So I was like, you know what? Let me just try to see the hoes that I can pick up.
Like this one thing about you ain't that bad. Now that I reconsider, I can actually deal with this that I thought I couldn't. Now that I was over here dealing with that, so
let me revisit what's in my hand. See if I get a royal flush or something out of here. Cause
the only reason why I'm not gonna be too hard on myself in regards to that and saying like I'm the problem is because I know that's not naturally how it happened.
All right, Nikki, it's looking like a lack of accountability on this.
That monster was brought out of me for a reason and by somebody. Yeah. And at that point, like, I can't say it's just me. Like, I don't ever come in just like being the problem. I really don't feel like it, but I can become the problem. If that makes sense.
Here. So yes, I was the problem because sometimes I would do things that like during the situation, it's like, oh, it doesn't matter. But the after effect is what matters. You know what I'm saying? You could do some hoe ass shit, and it's like the after effect of things. It's like, dang, damage that you've caused. And like now you're trying to come back and like kiss on somebody and be like, nah, like, well, we're not going to talk about what you did. So me, I'm not going to lie. I have been the problem at times. Like I will create storms and walk away from them and then come back like nothing happened.
So Nikki already said that the other person's the problem. And sometimes she can become the problem because of them.
I feel like I don't ever, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I really don't ever start off as being the problem. Yeah. But then you introduce something to me that I have a problem with. Yeah. Now I'm going to make it a problem for you. You know, like And it might, like you said, it might be a little bit of a lack of accountability.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, no, like you can't put 100% of the blame on me. Like,
True.
you just can't.
I feel you, but I can take accountability though that I have been a problem though.
So that's what I was going to ask y'all. Do y'all feel like in any types of these situations, like, do you feel like you're good at saying, okay, like, it was me, like, I'm the drama, like, I take accountability? Or do you feel like you tend to blame the other person, like, okay, this happened because of them? Like,
now, because with growth, like, I'm comfortable saying, like, no, acknowledging my F-ups, but I feel like when you're dealing, like, with a man, it's kind of hard for them to, like, take accountability of what they've done until, like, a whole bunch of drama takes place. And then now it's like, okay, coming with apologies, like, okay, now I understand where you're coming from, but it's like, why couldn't you just understand from the start? Why did it have to result to all this stuff before you understand? You know what I mean?
I would say for me, it's easy for me to take most of the time. I'm not gonna lie. If there's an issue or argument, I'm more than likely gonna take accountability for it, just because I don't like to dwell on stuff. Even before I read, I'm like, okay, let's patch this up. But in my head, though, do I truly feel like it's me? No. In my head, I'm gonna be like, this is 100% on you. But I'm gonna be the bigger person. So I don't know if it's like real accountability or if it's like faux accountability. Because I'll be like, you know what? Maybe I could take accountability for how I played in this, just to get the conversation and apologies rolling. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to just get it started.
You just want to move on.
Yeah, it's like, let me apologize first, and I know if I apologize and you'll apologize, then we can move forward. You know what I mean? But do I truly feel like I had something to apologize for?
Do we feel like that's
Probably
always
not.
a good thing to do? Because, like, if anything, like, then you're really forcing that person to never take accountability for anything.
But that's why I have to agree. That's the reason why now I'm not so quick to do that, because I do definitely feel like when I was growing up, I was always the one like apologizing, always the one saying sorry, always the one just being like, you know what, like, I understand, like, oh, let's just move on, just so that we wouldn't have to like go through that awkward phase of like where you're mad at each other, like you're not really speaking, like just to avoid that. But is that really doing you any good?
Probably not, but just because like the way I'm personally set up, I'm not, and I've learned this about myself, I cannot match energy. I can't match energy because you may not be built how I'm built. You may not be set up how I'm set up. So you may be okay like holding resentment and a grudge and like for months and months and months. And I'm trying to match your energy and do the same thing and have a heart and a heart. But I know that what I'm holding on is hurting me in the end. So for me, it's like I've realized that like from day to day, if I have an argument with somebody, I cannot carry it on the next day. Like I don't like it. Like I rather like, if you feel like you have something else to say and you don't want to move on from it, or you have something just that you don't feel like saying, that's on you. Whatever you don't communicate, that's for you to figure out later. But as for me, in my household, I'm just kidding. But no, for me, I have to figure it out quickly. Like I hate holding on to shit.
I think I've kind of been looking at accountability a little bit differently, in the sense of like, I kept blaming somebody, like, dang, like this person did this to me. And I really had to stop and think like, you allowed this to happen. You know what I mean? Like you sat in this and you chose to suffer for this amount of time. At some point, it's no longer their fault. It's my fault for allowing them to treat me like that. It's my fault for continuing to stay in that situation. I had to take accountability for myself. Like, bitch, get the fuck up. Like, what are you doing? And I think in that, like, it's so easy to want to blame the other person, but it's like, I realized like, I played a role as well, and I realized I was never gonna be able to move past that until I accepted like it's okay, but now you know, so do better. And I think that's how I kind of.
And I do agree, like that person did play a role, but at the same time, like let's not discredit that they might really not be a good person, and they might not really be treating you right. And I do feel like we have to like hold those people accountable for that. It's like, yeah, I understand, like you let it happen. But did it really have to happen? You know, and would it have happened without that other person playing the role that they played?
No, for sure. I definitely think that's true. Like, people be fucked up. But I also think, like, me choosing to suffer, I need to take accountability for that. Like, I should have walked away from stuff a lot sooner than I did.
Because sometimes you can see the like, you can see the red flag, right? And you're just choosing to step around it every time or like ignore it. But she is right. You can choose one day to be like, you know what? I see the red flag and I'm gonna walk out. Like, I'm not going to endure anymore. For what? You know what I mean? But.
So, females like to talk. We like to share with our friends what we're going through. Which I feel like.
Not females.
Women.
Women. My God. Women like to share with their friends what they're going through. Which I think, like, sounds good. But I feel like people kind of leave. There's always a hint of the story that's missing. So I have a...
the parts that make you look bad.
Right. Literally. Anything that's going to hold you accountable to the problem. So let's say your friend, she's been talking to a dude or dating a dude for a really long time, and like she's really expressed to you like all the bad things about this person, like everything that he's done to her, and she's just like, you know what, I'm done with him. And then you come to find out that she's back messing with him again. After she swore to you, like, nah, I'm done. Like, I put this on everything I love. I'm done with him. So it's like in that moment, like, do you hold your friend accountable, or do you just think like, okay, it's life. Like, she's doing what she want to do. Like, do you mind your business, or do you speak up and say anything?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm always mind my business. Like, I'm gonna be a friend when you need. Like, that's the like. I don't know, because I feel like life is life. No one's perfect. No one's ever gonna handle a situation perfectly. Like, there's always gonna be someone that goes back. And who are we to condemn them for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are we to make them feel down for not being able to stand up? It's okay. Just be, you know, I'm just saying, just like I just feel like being a friend, like, whenever they need a shoulder to cry, I'm going to be there for you. Whenever you need someone to hear, you need someone to lament to, I'm going to be here for you. You need someone to support you for going back, I'm going to be there for you. Like, I'm not ever going to make you feel like terrible for your decisions. Because at the end of the day, you're the one in control, not me.
No,
you know
for sure. I'm definitely going to let you vibe out, do what you want to do. Definitely. But I think there's a point in time for me, like when I think of certain situations where it's like, you really see your friend going through it. And sometimes you have to tell your friend, like, okay, if that's what you want to do, cool, but I think you deserve more. And I just want you to understand that, like, you could have more. And I think sometimes when you're in a situation, like, you're just so blinded by things. And it's like, sometimes you kind of have to remind your friend, like, girl, you really do deserve more. If that's what you want to do, cool. But I just want you to know, like, there's more on the other side. You know what I mean? Like, I think you have to say something. You can't just be like, oh, girl, go fucking the blind leading the blind. Like that TikTok trend. Like, it can't be the blind leading the blind. But I think at some point, like, after you hear your friend complain about certain things and the way whoever is making her feel, like, I think you as a friend, you have the right to say, like, I think you're deserving so much more.
But like I said, you can always say those things, but if they decide to go back, like, I'm not about to be like, wait a minute, girl, we just talked yesterday. No.
Like, am I going to roll my eyes in the back of my head when you bring him up? But sure. I'm not going to tell you.
Good to know.
So the thing is, I agree with both of y'all. Completely agree with both of your standpoints. But I do think being like a real friend and being a true friend is being able to tell the truth, you know, and to let your friend know that, like Jori said, like, you deserve so much more. Like, you're so much more deserving of the situation that you're actually in. And like Paulette said, you have to put that in a way that the other person's actually gonna be receptive, because they're already like in a vulnerable state. And so you might be coming at it from a good place, but they might not be able to understand that because of everything they're already going through with this man. And we already know how hard it is to, like, truly, truly leave somebody whenever you've been, like, really dealing with them for a very long time. And, like, you formed all these emotions, you formed all these feelings, you formed habits with them. So it's just hard. But I don't think you should be judging your friend in any sense that, like, oh, you're stupid, or why would you do that? Like, you come and tell us about all the bad things he does, and then you go back. Like, you can't judge your friend. You have to be a friend, like, through thick and thin. So it's just, it really is a fine balance. It really is.
Yeah, I think, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, for me, I think, first off, there is a very fine line between, like you said, accountability and judging. I think the only time, like, I draw the line, like, if there's a situation
like
happens.
Danger.
Yeah. If a situation happens where it gets past the line of where, like, at this point, it's not even, like, I cannot support, like, the continuance of the relationship, then I'm going to make it very clear. Do not speak to me about this person. I'm not a fan of this person. I'm not going to support any conversation unless you're coming to me for help. But as far as, like, you coming to me about, oh, he did this, I do not want to hear. I don't like this man. But there are very few situations that encompasses. And that's like you said, like, if I feel like your safety is a risk, if I feel like your health is a risk, if I feel like, you know, he's putting you in any type of danger, like, I'm not going to support that relationship. And in that moment, I am going to hold you accountable, because at this point, like, you have to run. You need to save yourself, girl. But if it's a situation where it's just like, I mean, okay, he's cheating on you. Okay. If you want to go back to a cheater, that's on you. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and make you feel bad about that. Like, what the hell? Like, I feel like we've all been with our fair share of cheaters. So I was like, that's what you want to do? What the fuck? Like, do it. And then when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired,
you'll be sick and tired.
Then you'll leave. Yeah. But I can't be sick and tired for you. So what's the point of making me feel bad while you're going through it? Because I know he's putting you through it. So,
have you ever felt like in that, as you complain to your friends about certain situations, have you ever felt like, ooh, like, I can't talk to her about this man no more?
Because you complained, left, and came back.
Girl. Yeah, I was talking to a friend. She was like, "Girl, when we get back talking to him again," and I was like, "Ooh, you want to hear me talk about him again?" I was like, "Yikes,
that's done."
Yeah, like, glad I know how you feel. We'll bring him back up.
But no, I
literally.
The thing is, sometimes we just be talking. You know, like
sometimes.
No, I agree. No, I do think she was just talking, but
sometimes you just want to talk. But I do think it's important. Like for me, don't get me wrong. Like I can say some things, and I will say my opinion about certain people because I'm just like, he did what? Like I'd be pissed off. I feel like sometimes I'd be more pissed off for that person than they are. You know?
Oh yeah.
So sometimes I can say some things that it's just like, Nikki, what? But for me, I never want to actually stop hearing about that person. Like, I always want you to be able to feel like I am a person that you can come to and talk to about literally anything. And I'm going to do my best to not put any type of judgment past it. Because like Michelle said, we have been through our fair share of like
nonsense.
Like nonsense.
Yeah,
like just like
let's not get specific.
Nonsense.
That's a good word.
So, and I know that I would not have got past that nonsense like without my friends.
Yeah.
So I never want to be that person who's like puts up a wall and it's just like, you know what, you got to deal with this by yourself because you keep coming back and telling me this, but you don't want to do better for yourself. So whatever. But like, no, like I want to make sure like I have that communication where it's like, don't get me wrong. Like Jori said, I might roll my eyes in the back of my head, but I'm gonna still be there.
But also cover yourself in grace, because what I don't understand, because sometimes I feel like there are some people who like they complain about their man or whatever, and if all you're doing is complaining to him about me, so I was like, tell me the good stuff too, so at least I can feel like there's some happiness going on over there.
Let me at least feel like, dang, you just miserable.
Let me root for y'all a little bit, like because maybe I don't know the full story, because there are some people who will tell you all this bad stuff, and you just think, oh, he's a horrible person, but you don't realize that
they do a whole lot of good.
Yeah, they're not telling you any of the good stuff, so it's like you really have like a skewed perspective of what the relationship really.
No, that's true.
Like.
Because have y'all ever had to defend a guy and you're like, who's a good dude? But your friend knows nothing of the good because, like you said, they know nothing but the bad. But I think that goes for everything. They say the same thing about restaurants. People are quick to tell you about bad service that they've had, but they're never quick to tell you about great service that they had. So I think it applies as well in regards to that.
Because I say something, and someone be like, oh man, fuck him. Like, hold on. Maybe I said that too harshly because I don't think it deserves a fuck him. So let me tell you the full story now. So I don't hold back. But
like, he's a good man, Savannah.
He's a good man, Savannah.
But I think even with what you said, Nikki, is like sometimes you be madder than the friend. But I think people go through things with a particular person so much that like they become numb. Like you be like, what, this happened to you?
Shit just don't hit you the same anymore.
Like once you've been hurt to like a certain extreme with somebody, I'm not gonna lie, like nothing new that they do going forward can even rattles you anymore. And so for the people on the outside looking in, they're like, damn, like you still ain't done. But it's like people get you to that point
people
where it's like nothing. You can't make me any lower than what I already am.
Like some hurt, some hurt is like, I don't know. I feel like it's just like nothing hurts more than the last hurt. It's like it's hurt. It's what it is, and you just bounce back.
And it's so sad to think of that.
Yeah, my eyes are getting a little heavy.
But you know what the crazy part is like, it's so crazy because we go through these things like as women and as men, you know, because men be going through it too. Women be putting men through it, men be putting men through it, whatever. So, but I feel like it's just gonna make so much more of a better story for whenever you actually like find
your person,
that purpose, like whatever, you know, like, and you're literally gonna look back and you'll be like, I was so fucking stupid, but I would not have gotten to the point that I'm at right now if I probably didn't go through that.
But have you ever really thought that like I was so stupid, or do you like?
Yes.
Oh really? Okay.
Oh, without a doubt, I have definitely thought to myself, I'm like, your mother raised you better than that. Like, why were you going through that? Like, you weren't raised on some nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, your parents put some like actual morals and put some sense into you. Why did you put yourself in that situation? I think about like that all the time.
But you can't empathize knowing yourself and be like, okay, I know why I put myself in that situation.
You know?
Because there's sometimes I want to be hard on myself about past relationships, but in my head I'm also just like, I know exactly like the place I was in, or I know exactly like how I view that relationship. I know why I was in that relationship.
Yeah, literally.
I do empathize, but to a certain extent, like, I was stupid. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there's just certain things. After a while, it just becomes like, you know, it's like shame on you. Like first time, shame on you. Second time,
shame on you.
Exactly.
Shame on me.
Exactly, and that's kind of where it comes. Like, if someone's continuously putting you through something, and you're continuously going back, after a while. I think Jori kind of said it, like, can you really blame that person? Like, are you able to really put that full blame on that other person? Now, do you have to put your blame on yourself because you're the one who's putting yourself through it.
Yeah, at this point, you signing up for the bullshit. At first, you didn't know it was bullshit, but now it's like, now you see bullshit on the sign up list, and you still write your name.
And you first in line.
Even if I can empathize, thank you, for who I was in that moment. I feel like when time passed, it was like, girl, you stayed there.
Yeah.
So it's like at that point, I was dumb. I was dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's okay. And I think I said to somebody before, I was like, I let this person take advantage of. They took advantage of me letting them take advantage of me. You know what I mean? And once I realized that, I was like, that'll never happen again, because like they slip and they slide. So never again, for sure.
I'm crying that they slip and they slide. Because the way you said so little, and I know exact facts. That is a fact. Boys take an inch.
So let me ask y'all a question. Do you feel like it is possible to really obtain like self-growth if the people around you like aren't like-minded and they don't really have like that same mentality as you and like wanting to like do better in life and obtain like, you know, certain goals, things like that?
Are those the only people around you?
Those are your main people around you.
I mean, I think it's possible, but I think it'll be difficult. Like at some point, you have to have like some kind of extrinsic motivation. So someone around you has to be motivating you or like helping you to place like seeds of growth in your head.
So let me ask this. So do you feel like it's possible like to have a group of women that, let's say they are all in like just messed up situations? Do you feel like it's possible to have?
Are you talking about us in relationships?
Like no,
you say blind leading blind. We've already talked about that. No need to
literally
no need to degrade us.
Finish your thought, Nikki.
Well, I'm not talking about y'all. But you know how sometimes like you'll see a group of friends and you're just like, y'all are all in like bad situations. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all all are just not doing the best. Like y'all are not making the wisest decisions. Do you feel like you as a person, like do you have to like take yourself and like step back from that group of friends to be able to have a different type of relationship or like to even get married? Because I'll be honest with you, there's some people that can be around you and they're like so against marriage that it might stop you from being able to pursue marriage because you just might not have that mindset.
Only reason I say no, because at the end of the day, just because they're against that has nothing to do with you. If you for it, what does them being against nothing to do with you being for something? Because one thing about me, I have people that are around me that are against marriage, but I'm for marriage.
But I'm saying,
you know what I mean?
No, that's
and
the
I
thing,
can be around them.
But it's like where that's all that's around you. There's different. There's a difference. Like if you have some people that are against it, that's not the type of friends that you're interacting with all the time. But let's say that those are the people that are all around you. Because like even if you look at it, like a lot of like friends group, like one person gets married, next thing you know, it's like kind of like a TikTok effect.
Or
and like,
domino.
Domino effect.
I was like,
TikTok really taking over.
What is y'all talking about?
I was gonna help you. I was like, TikTok. Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna go with it.
Ooh, sorry, y'all. Like a domino effect.
And these glasses is empty. They would think we was drinking today.
Like a domino effect. So why is that? Like, why do y'all think that is?
I think. Okay, I will say
birds of a feather flock together,
which is true.
Kidding,
yeah,
but I also feel like, have you ever heard like it's when it comes to like subconscious conditioning and stuff like that? Like if you are aware that it's happening, like it doesn't work. I think the same thing applies. Like if you are around a group of people and you don't realize that your environment is not all that exists, then of course it's going to be easier for you to be easily influenced. But if you realize that everyone around you is not like-minded and you realize that your thought process is different than them, then I feel like it's easier for you to navigate and grow out of that situation. Mind you, if you're someone who's like easier to be influenced by your surroundings, it's very easy for you to adopt the mindset of everyone around you. So I think it's just about like, are you an independent thinker or not? Like, are you the type of person who's like, because there are some people who like you talk to them, it's like, damn, you are just echoing everything that I'm saying. Like I can tell you do not have, there's not a single thought of your own in there. Like they're all mine. I'm talking to you and it's like you're just repeating everything I say. You know what I mean? I think there's some, you know what I mean? There's literally some people like that. They don't have a personality, so you could tell like they're easily
influenced.
Yeah, they change depending on who they're around. You know, I feel like people like that.
That's what they call them.
Y'all shady today.
No, that's what they are.
That's what they saying. No, but people like that, I think it's very easy for them to become victim of their surroundings. But I don't know, child, because answer this question. It's like, what? What's tea?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what's really tea?
Do we not need you friends anymore?
I guess I'm supposed to drag myself.
None of us are married, so
like, what exactly I'm supposed to say?
No, I'm saying, are you trying to walk away from us? Is that what you're saying? Like,
walk, Nikki. Honestly, put on your walking boots.
Nikki's just dropping nuggets right now. Like, y'all, just letting y'all know if I start, limiting our visits,
if I start
limiting our hangouts,
it's nothing.
We be
like
out with
that.
Nikki out with a whole different group of friends. Like, wow,
like, where'd you find all these married friends from so quickly?
But it's not even just marriage, but it's literally like it could be business, it could be anything.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Like
okay, definitely.
If all the friends around you are worker bees, how are you gonna be a queen bee? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard.
I mean, that's you gotta work to become a queen, okay? So, but
no, but I feel you. But that's why I do definitely think it's important to like put yourself in different networks. Like, it's good to have a group of friends, but you need to actively be trying to, like you said, if you are into like business, like find people in business. Like someone was literally just talking to me about that the other day, how they were like in an environment and they were talking to somebody about something, and he mentioned like, oh yeah, he really liked this business or whatever, and the guy was like, oh yeah, thank you, and he was like, thank you for what? And he was like, oh yeah, that's mine. And he was like, what the hell? And he was like, and since then, like he was like, I realized that even in having these type of conversations, surrounding myself with different people, like my mindset has just been changing like rapidly, So I definitely think the people you hang with is very important, especially as you get older, because people can really put you on to stuff.
Yeah,
definitely.
Definitely.
But
and also too. Oh,
I was gonna just say, like, even if your friend group isn't doing exactly what you want, like I think if you're intentional with your own growth, you're gonna seek things outside of your friend group. Like you're gonna read, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. Like I think you can be a part of any, like Michelle said, like be mindful of whatever group you're in. But if you are seeking personal growth for yourself, then you'll be intentional with the things that you consume and what you do to try to elevate your life in itself as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, thanks y'all. And it wasn't any
shade.
Whatever.
Shade.
If you gonna leave then. Don't come back. I'm just kidding.
So I know we've been talking about like accountability as far as like relationships, but you mentioned friends and things like that. So how do you, like, say you do have a friend who's like mentioned like, oh, they're trying to grow like in this certain area or do this type of thing, like how do you hold them accountable, and when do you decide to hold somebody accountable and when to like give them grace on it? What particular thing? Like say someone's like, okay, like I'm really like, they share with you something that they're working on or working towards. How do you
hold them
accountable without coming off like judgmental? Like maybe they said like, okay, well, I'm trying to think of an example.
I know examples.
Oh yeah.
Okay, if you have okay.
Well, like, cause like think about it like this, like if you have a friend who has really like come to you and has been like, you know what, like I actually want to lose weight, and like they really like they really talked to you and been like, you know, this is why I want to do this, like whatever the case may be, like they've laid out their whole plan. I do think that as a friend, sometimes you can hold them accountable, but like it's like an accountability partner.
Yeah.
You know, like you could be like, you might see them picking up something bad to eat and just be like, girl, what are your goals? Like summer is around the corner, you know, like you're already on the right path. Like you don't need that. That type of thing. I think that it's sometimes you just have to have that accountability for your friend, and people have to borrow accountability sometimes. Because not every day you can wake up and just be like, I'm 100% accountable. I'm going to make all the right decisions. And that's why it's important to have really good people around you.
Definitely.
To be able to say, like, to borrow that accountability off of them and to be able to go to that next level. Like, that's why it really is important, the type of people that you have around you, because you want those accountability people.
Right.
So
that's always constantly reminding you, like, that goal, like that conversation I had, like, nah, remember we talked about this, yo, like, you got this, do it, you know, or like forcing you, like, just do it. Like Michelle said a couple episodes ago, do it scared, like, who cares, just do it. Like,
me and one of my friends right now, we're doing like accountability challenge to like not eat out.
Nice.
So I think we said Fridays, Saturday, Sunday we can eat out, but I only eat out once a week. So, but I mean, just even with the conversation, like, did you get Starbucks today? Like, girl, that was not in the budget. Like, you can't be drinking Starbucks every day. So
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, so it's so crazy because sometimes it just takes someone telling you, like, let's what's it called, set a goal. And sometimes you think that those goals are so impossible until like you actually sit down and plan it out, and you're like, dang, like I actually was spending a lot of money on this one particular thing. So when someone comes to you and it's like, oh, let's save 20,000, you're like, I can't save 20,000. But when you look at the extra stuff that you were really spending money on, you could have been saved 20,000.
You could have saved 50,000.
Exactly. So it's sometimes, like you said, it just takes accountability. That's really all it is.
So has there ever been a time where maybe you tried to hold somebody accountable and it wasn't received? Like maybe you were, okay, you know what? It's going to take me a lot of courage, but let me say this because I know like this person told me this and I'm trying to hold them accountable. And this is going towards anything, but it wasn't received. Maybe they took it like in a different way.
I feel like parents are quick to remind you, like, you spending money, Tasha, please. This is my life right now. I ain't not trying to hear that. Like, it be for me, like, when my parents be like, didn't you say you was trying to do this and this? Like, why are you going on the trip? Like, girl, I don't want to hear it, but I need to hear that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if anyone's going to hold me accountable, it's going to be my parents for sure, but I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, I think I do feel that people around me have taken things the wrong way, but it might have a lot to do with my tone too. You know, like I might just have not had the right tone, and like my intentions might have been like really sincere, like it was coming from my heart, but literally it was just like my presentation, you know, or tone, presentation, whatever you want to say it is. So yeah, it just, and then also people need to read the room. Like people really need to read the room. There are certain times that you don't have to, like, it doesn't always have to be on your time. Like sometimes you have to make sure that person is even ready to receive that accountability. You know, like if I'm like already like frustrated or I'm talking to you about something and then you're like, well, Nikki, didn't you say like you were trying to lose 20 pounds, but why you eating ice cream? And I'm just looking at you like, bitch, now you know I'm stressed. Like, is this the right time for you to tell me this, you know? So really, you got to read the room properly.
Oh, read the room. That's major. That's major. That's what sometimes just like, you went from being my accountability partner to low-key a hater.
A hater and a op.
Not a op.
Because I've definitely in a situation where like, I think there was like a guy who, looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that's weird I even talked to him, but we dated or whatever, and it wasn't even like a heavy dating situation. I would say talking. Okay, we still use that term. Like we talked barely, you know. So I think I was kind of like something happened, and mind you, I'm thinking we just casually fell out or whatever. I probably like had like told my friend like some negative things about him, I'm sure. And I think I might have brought up to her like, oh, like he hit me up. You know how you just trying to casually like mention or try to let your friend know that you're entertaining talking to him again. And she's like, oh, didn't he do this? Didn't he do that? Like pretty much trying to like, throw it back in my face, the things that he did. In my head, I'm like, I feel like there's a better way to do that to kind of like trigger me into like not giving him another chance. On top of that, like when she was throwing it back, some of it was tea because I'm like, oh, I don't even remember. Like he did. What'd you say he did? You must not have told me that.
Right.
But now you're telling me now. But it's like, that's not even how you do it. Like, okay, if you wanted to tell me some stuff that he did, you could have told me like in the moment or shortly after or just take it to the grave. But now it's like you're trying to trigger me into or manipulate. Well, maybe not even manipulate me. Maybe that's your version of holding me accountable. But in that moment, it doesn't feel good. So like read the room. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think you can also like hold people accountable like through action. It's kind of like that TikTok where it's like when your friend walks into the room and they get on the computer and they're being hella productive and you're like, damn bitch, now I gotta be productive too. I think you can also influence people with accountability in a lot of different areas. Like I know, like I put my Apple Watch on, I'm like, damn, so worked out today. Let me hit the fucking track, bro. I think stuff like that, like watching other people be accountable to same things that I want as well, definitely helps me be like, okay, like I can do this. Like if they made time for it today, I can make time for it today. So
definitely. No, that's actually very true. Because I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna sound shady, but. I'm not gonna say, but yeah, a lot of times like lead by example. Like if you want me to be in a healthy relationship, maybe you should try it. You know what I mean? Like that's just all I'm saying. Like
how you know the relationship ain't healthy?
Wow. No, I guess that's all I'm saying. Like I just feel like sometimes people have all the advice in the world, but it's like when it comes to taking it, like apply it to your own life. And I feel like that's what I mean, like leading by example. Like if the best way to like show like things people should do is like take your own advice. And then because I feel like if you're not taking your own advice and you're hard on me, then it's like, why aren't you hard on yourself? I'm not understanding.
That's why I don't like giving advice.
But at the
you
same
leave yourself
time,
open for judgment.
At the same time, we got two different relationships. Like,
what do you mean?
We?
Oh, well, me.
No, like, no, I'm saying, of course we have two different. But I'm saying, like, those, just because you look at your friend, you're like, take your own advice. Like, y'all could have two different situations.
But you can't be like, leave him.
Yeah.
No, you leave him.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree.
Your nigga first.
Because some people be quick to tell you to leave, and it's like you're also going through something very similar, and yet you still fucking with that nigga too. Yeah. So it's kind of just like, have the same accountability you want for me, for yourself as well.
That same tone.
Yeah.
So why did y'all even come to me for advice? And if y'all are just gonna look at my life and try to judge me?
No. It's not even that I necessarily came to advice. Maybe you're trying to hold me accountable in some way, and it's like, okay, you're telling me I need to leave, but you also going to do something similar, and you haven't left either. So it's kind of like, who are you to tell me to leave?
Yeah. There's been times where someone tried to advise. I'm just like, no, wait. Some of the stuff you're saying, I'm looking at your situation, and you haven't taken out one thing you told me. Like, what's up?
But then y'all, of all people, you should understand.
But then y'all don't need to be going to that person.
It's not even that, but like people, it's not even that, but I feel like people just need to like, there's always like a nicer or better way to say stuff. Like, don't come down on people so hard, and
it
you
just
don't
sounds
come
like
down
you don't
on
want to hear the
yourself.
truth.
I don't think
truth.
I don't think it's not about hearing the truth. I think sometimes like I'm going through something, and as my friend, just even being able to out loud talk about what I'm thinking about going through with this person, or how I want to move forward, or how I want to handle a situation, just even being able to speak it to you helps me kind of think in my head like, dang, like I'm saying it out loud. You're listening. I'm not necessarily always coming to you for advice in that moment, but I might be like, okay, like I'm thinking about doing this or this. Like, I don't know. And in that moment, they're either going to give me advice, or they're going to be like, I think you should kind of sit on that for a little bit, see how you feel tomorrow. Like, it's not always about I'm coming to you for advice. Sometimes I just want to say this is what I'm going through because I need to talk it out loud.
Yeah, like sometimes you just, because once you say it out loud, now it's like real. You know what I mean? I feel like some people sometimes come down too hard on people. Like, can be a little bit harsh. And it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, act like you've been here before. What's up?
And to clarify, like, I'm not saying it in a way where, like, okay, I'm judging your relationship with this. I guess I'm saying it more so.
That was all judgment. All
that's all. Let me just clarify.
It's
what
okay.
What I'm saying is, say you're in a situation like you and your dude got into an argument, whatever, and you're telling your friend about it, and she's giving more than likely you're calling really just to vent. You know what I mean? And then secondary is probably like you want advice, and you're telling them this, and then the next day they're just like, I feel like you should leave him, this and that. And you're going to receive that. You're not judgmental. But then, like, they keep harping on it, like, he ain't no good. You should leave him. You should leave him. And it's kind of like, okay, the energy I give you when you come to me for advice is not this. You know, I could easily say the same things you're saying. And your situation is probably like, we could probably go toe for toe. But I'm the type of person where it's like, I'm never going to advise someone to leave anybody because I can never tell you what to do in life. I can provide you with advice, and I can let you do what you want to do with it. But for you to try to tell me what to do in my relationship, and knowing that you're so vocal about how I should maneuver in my relationship, and I know that you do not even apply those same conditions to your own relationship, to me, it's like, why are you so hard on me? You're not that hard on yourself. I'm going to automatically think that. Like, you're in a relationship that, I'm not going to say I'm judging a relationship, but it's like, you've told me things that I could easily tell you, leave your man over, but I would never do that. So why is it so easy for you to tell me to do the same thing?
But I think in that as well is like, you kind of have to know who you're talking to. Like,
yes,
in the sense of like, sometimes I have a friend who will ask for advice, and it's like, I know she's not going to take the advice I give. So I'd be like, okay, well, what are you thinking about doing? Like, maybe you should sit on this for a little bit longer. That way, it's not like I'm always giving you advice, and it's like, oh, she's never taking it, like move around. But it's just like, I just kind of talk her through it. And at the end of the day, she's going to do what she wants to do. But I realized like, there's no point in giving her the advice. Not that I don't really have any advice to give. She's going to do what she want to do. So to me, it's kind of just like, I just talk her through it a little bit. And it's just like, she'll come back and let me know what she did.
You know, it's so crazy because I think that maybe I look at it just a little bit different. I think that people really hold on to, like, if a friend tells them to like leave a man. And for me, like, if a friend tells me that, you just tell me that, and I choose what I want to do with it. Yeah. But for me, I'm never gonna really hold it against you that you told me to leave, because in that situation, because who knows what I presented to you. You know what I'm saying?
Your friend keeps telling you like, you should leave him. Don't talk to me about him no more. Why are you still with him?
No, so that's different.
So have y'all had that?
Yes.
Where someone
came to you and was like, you need to leave this person?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I had to decide if that's what I wanted to do or not, you know?
Maybe
but
I don't think, I don't think anybody's ever been like, you need to leave. I think they've allowed me to just be a dummy, honestly. And no shade to friends, but it's like, I don't think anybody ever was like, you need to leave this person alone. I think they just let me kind of just go through the motions, and in time I got there. But,
So what would you rather? Would you rather someone have told you like,
would I listen? I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. I mean, because I stayed for so long. So it's like, if they even would have spoke up, but I wouldn't have been mad. Like, I wouldn't have taken it personal. Like, I'll never take that personally, because it's just like, when you are out of a situation, you really go back and you look at what you went through. You be like, damn, like I said earlier, like you become numb to certain situations. So it's like when you look back, you be like, damn, this is why this person was saying, girl, leave him alone. Like, please shut that door. So I'll never take it personal because
that's exactly where I'm at. Like I'll never take it personal. I'll never take it personal because, like you said, like it depends on how that person presented that relationship to you. One, because like you said, a lot of times we tell people a lot of the negative and we don't tell people about the good. And so all they can really do is have this opinion on the negative. And if that's the only opinion that they've had, you know, then eventually they're just gonna be like, dang, why are you even going through this? And it goes back to, once again, like you want better for your friend. So it's like, I can't take it personal. I just really can't.
That's true. That's true. Well, we feel like that, you know.
Well, guys, this was a great conversation. I'm not going to lie. We really got a little, like, real deep this episode, right? So, y'all head over to Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Follow us at Petty Party Pod. Send us y'all's motos to pettyparty12814@gmail.com. And if you need advice or if you want us to share a petty chronicle for you, email us as well. Or you can send a DM if that makes you feel comfortable as well. Also, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for streaming us on YouTube. Thank you for listening to us on any platform you can stream us on. We really appreciate it. And this is your girl, Paulette, signing out. Holla.
Bye, guys. It is your girl, Jori Aaliyah.
Bye, y'all. It's Shell.
Bye, everyone. Just Nick. And I want to also say, make sure you send us in your motos. If you want to promote with us, any type of advertisement space, make sure you email us, DM us. We are open to it all. Bye, y'all.
Bye.